And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a little game called Butterfly. Now this is from Stephen Glenn, who has made some fantastic games. He's really good at making a game that has some really simple rules, but has some depth to it. That's kind of his motif ever since the game of his that probably got the most renowned, Balloon Cup. Now Butterfly is about catching butterflies and various insects. You don't want to catch a wasp. I know this. When we were kids, we would catch wasps in a butterfly net. And then we didn't know what to do next. So we would throw the butterfly up net and then everyone would run in different directions, hoping no one got stung, as smart children do. In Butterfly, you're collecting different cards, trying to collect cards that give you various points. It's done in a different, you're collecting tiles that give you various points. It's very similar to other games of this genre with a twist. I'll show you. There are piles of tiles in this game, piles of tiles, and you're going to put them on the board randomly, and the size that you put out will be how many players are in a game. This is a 4-player game. If you're doing a 2-player game, you'd only fill in the inner square, and a 3- and 5-player game are on the other side of the board. The game is pretty simple. One player is going to go first. The person to the right is going to place a hedgehog anywhere on the board on the outside spots. So on your turn, you may turn it right or left, and then move it as far as you want. The tile you end on is the tile that you take. So I will collect this firefly or lightning bug. Then the next person, obviously they don't have much of a choice, they're going to have to turn this way. Then they might go down here and stop on this red one. Then the next person could go forward again and take the grasshopper, or they could have turned and gone anywhere down here. And that's going to keep going as you go around the board until somebody cannot move. It's going to be possible you can't move and land on the tile. And at that point, the game ends. Then you're going to score for each of the tiles. And it's really, really simple. The yellow, blue, green, and red moths or butterflies are simply going to score the points on them. So 4, 3, 2, etc. For each color, there's also a doubler tile, which will give double all the tiles in that category. Now you might say, wait a minute, so all the tiles aren't out there. But you can get tiles pulled from the bag if you want to. Once the hedgehog is moving around, and you'll open up these butterfly nets. And if you ever move the hedgehog over a butterfly net that's revealed on the board, then you can draw a tile from the bag, but you gotta take it, whatever it might be. Hey, I got a firefly there in this game, lightning bugs, that's what I called them as a kid anyway. These, you only score one of them, the highest one. I'm sorry, those are dragonflies. These are the lightning bugs. I'm not very good at my bugology here. Here you get the lowest one of the ones that you've taken. Flowers, one's worth 1 point, 2 are worth 4 points, 3 are worth 9. You just simply get the square of the number of flower tiles that you have. Honeycombs are worth 0, but if you get a bee, then you'll score whatever the big number is on them. So if I have this bee and this honeycomb together, I get 10 points. If I have just the bee with no honeycomb, it's -3. Just the honeycomb, it's 0. Grasshoppers, you get the points that are on them, but every time you take a grasshopper, the grasshopper you previously had runs away or jumps away. And then of course, wasps here are simply negative points. You will only take these if you need them. Each player will have a board, and you'll place all the tiles you get on your board. Highest score, winner of the game. So it's pretty simple here. Like I said, the board, the components. Here we have the 3- and the 5-player board. The 5-player board uses 81 of the 100 tiles. These boards clearly tell you what each of the tiles does, so that's pretty good. It has a very colorful look to it. And the hedgehog here, nice little wooden piece. Even if you put it sideways, it looks like somebody has been nibbling on a Reese's peanut butter cup. But I'm pretty happy with the components. Like I said, very simple. Bag, tiles, board. The box easily fits everything inside it. Yeah, I don't think the box is too big. It feels like the right size. I'm really surprised that Butterfly hasn't got more buzz. It's really similar to games like Sushi Go, as you are collecting cards. I mean, when it comes to the scoring of this game, other than maybe the grasshopper, you only keep the last when you collect it, the scoring's pretty generic. Points, double points, negative points, points if you put these two together. You only keep the highest of these tiles, the lowest of these. That's pretty generic. It's that moving around the board. That's also not particularly new, but the combination of them both makes for a really good family game. It's very thoughtful. It's fun when you move. You try to take the best tile you can, but you're also looking at where you're going to end up and maybe let the next person take a tile. If I know you really want a honeycomb, I may not go to a position that's going to give you a honeycomb on your next turn. And I definitely, if you have a lot of red butterflies, am going to set you up to take that ×2. And you're going to have to take those wasps at some point, and it's a little bit humorous, as long as it's not you, to see somebody land on one of those. It's easy to score up. It's a fast game to play. Yes, you could really have someone who sits there and goes, but at the end of the day, you only have so many choices that you're going to take in your turn. But those choices lead to more choices, which lead to more, although then the choices diminish as the game goes by because there's fewer and fewer things on the board. Then there's always that risk roulette moment where you cross over a butterfly net and you're like, pull from the bag. Hope you don't pull a wasp. Hope you don't, hope you don't pull something you can't use. But most of the tiles are good, so it's worth doing. It's light, it's breezy, with the hint and actuality of strategy thrown into it, and it's about as fun as chasing butterflies, which, for the record, I thought was a lot of fun to do. So, Butterfly, check it out. Dice Tower Judgment, approved!